Welcome to the law office of Don Dennis. I'm back again providing useful information. And as always, the content is rated R for real and not PG for playing any types of games with you. I thank you for joining. I thank all of my subscribers and all the supporters. I appreciate you hitting that like button. Please be sure and hit that like button. That is payment for my work, and it lets me know that you care and that you appreciate this content. I am an attorney that has been practicing business law for over a decade, and I enjoy it, and I love helping people come up with creative solutions to real problems so that their businesses can thrive, they can make money, and they can continue to grow and try to minimize their exposure to problems and liabilities. As you can see from the title, we're talking about wannabe attorneys. What is a wannabe? A wannabe is an imposter. It's a faker. It's someone pretending to be something, but they're not really it. If we're talking about an attorney, it's someone pretending to have passed the bar, but the only bar that they've passed is the one where they serve alcohol and they like to get their drink on. So that's not the type of attorney you need advising you in your business. You need a reputable, knowledgeable attorney, not someone that just looks nice, that has the appearance, but someone that has the fortitude, the resilience, and the education to assist you. That's what you need. So how did I come up with this topic? Cut and paste contracts. For years and years and years, I've met people, clients, just people in passing, spoke to people, and just heard horror stories. I mean, frightening horror stories like something you see on Netflix of people that decided instead of hiring an attorney, I'll just search online, grab a contract that looks good, the font looks nice, the paper looks crisp, copy it and paste it for what my business needs. Because look, a contract is what they say. Why should I pay anyone to do this? You know, the attorney doesn't know anything. The attorney is not telling me something I can't find on my own. I'll just do it myself. And that all looks good and it all sounds good. But the issue is you have to consider you don't want just any old contract to use. You want a contract that pertains specifically to the business that you conduct. Think about having a contract for a restaurant to provide restaurant services and supplies, and how the specificity of that contract needs to be laid out, because you need to order restaurant equipment, a mixing machine, devices for the oven, pots, pans, plates, and all of those things, because the restaurant needs to produce food on a daily basis, as opposed to a contract, for example, for Nordstrom's that's selling clothes, that deals with manufacturers and clothing companies. Those are completely different industries. So although I'm sure they have exceptional legal departments, one industry does not pertain and have the same issues as the other. So if I just went and grabbed a contract that they have on their website and say to myself, well, they're dealing with vendors and independent contractors, so I'm sure whatever language they have is going to be great. That doesn't mean everything that they use applies to what you're doing. And just cutting and pasting could put you in a whole world of trouble. What is the trouble I'm talking about? I'm talking about trouble when something actually comes up. I'm talking about trouble when you realize that this contract was based on Maryland law and you're in Nevada, and the laws there are not identical to the ones in Nevada, and a lot of the things that were in that contract are unenforceable in the state that you're in. I'm talking about a contract where you say you copy something and you didn't realize that it's legal for individuals to use certain amounts of marijuana in California, But in other states, such as Georgia, it's not legal. And you're opening up a bar and you grab a contract and you're putting stuff together and you don't realize that clause is in there. You don't realize that in that contract, it says that if there's a problem, we're going to go to all courts in Cook County, Illinois, which is encompassing the area of Chicago. But your business operates in LA County. So how is that going to work when you have a dispute with someone and they happen to be in Illinois and they're like, fine, let's go to court in Illinois. And now you're flying back and forth to litigate your problem and deal with it. So little nuances like that are another reason why you don't want to use cut and paste contracts, why you don't want to just grab something from one industry and apply it to your industry. If you like this content, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, if you're learning something, make sure you hit that cut and paste button. So again, I was telling you I've heard horror stories and about how I've dealt and assisted clients that hired or retained my office after already having copied and pasted a contract. So why would they need me? Well, they'll need me because they're running into a problem. They're running into a dispute with someone. And when they go to the contract that they copied and they cut and pasted from somewhere else, they're realizing that they're not protected in some of the areas they have a dispute in. They realize that some of the terms that they put in their contract simply don't apply to this situation. And they don't know how it's going to be resolved. Or they realize that, they agreed to go to arbitration or mediation and they really didn't want to do that. And so now they're coming to my office saying, hey, can you fix this? Or can you tell me how we can negotiate and get out of this? See, the thing is this, you don't know things are bad until they go bad. If you haven't been in a situation, you don't know it's going to be a problem. You don't know the parachute doesn't work until it's time to test it out and jump out that plane. And I'm not trying to scare anyone because there's a very low likelihood of parachutes not working. But until you get in a pressure cooker situation, until you have to actually get a letter from someone saying they're suing you or they're disputing some charges, there's a problem, you don't know how iron tight your contract is until you have to pull it out and go through it. Because let's face it, for a lot of people, they don't read even the contracts that they write very carefully until a problem comes about. And that is what hiring a good attorney is supposed to do for you. They're supposed to look at this document, this contract, in an unbiased way and determine if it fits for your situation, especially when they're writing the contract, which is preferable. It's harder to sometimes modify some contract, but it's easier sometimes to draft it from scratch. Because if you draft it from scratch, you can sit down with the client. Someone should sit down with you, understand your business, understand your issues, understand where you are right now and where you plan to go. And taking all of that into consideration, create a contract that covers you, covers where you're at, and protects you to the best of your ability based on what types of insurance you cover for yourself, based on your inventory, your sales volume, your revenue, and the exposure that you have based on the unique issues in your industry. So cutting and pasting is not a good idea. I highly, highly, highly encourage you not to do that. Not to just take some contract that someone tells you has been working for them and blindly apply it to yourself. Because in essence, you will be your own attorney, a wannabe attorney, someone practicing law and doesn't know that certain laws have changed. Because don't get it twisted. Laws change. Things change. Judges decide cases, and what used to be permissible could no longer be permissible. So if you're copying and pasting contracts or other legal terms and documents online, and it's not up to date with the most recent changes in the law, or how courts are viewing and applying certain principles to dealing with and interpreting contracts, you're going to be out of luck. And that would be horrible for you. So think carefully about what I've said. If you have to watch this video again, make sure you hit that like button. And if you have any comments, be sure and leave them in the comments section. Again, this is Attorney Don Dennis. I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to you watching the next upcoming videos. Have a great day.